Hello everyone, and this is my review for WWE's 2015 Royal Rumble. And where can I go with this show? I have to say that for the most part, I felt this show was lazily booked, and just not on the terms of like how they did most of their matches, but what type of matches you were getting throughout the entire night. I mean, even down to the pre-show, the first four matches of the night were all tag team matches. There was no real variance in your style of match, whether you get, oh, we have a tag team match, and now we have a one-on-one match, and then maybe another tag team match. No, all normal tag team matches. Now, let's get one thing perfectly clear. Cesaro and Tyson Kidd versus The New Day with Kofi Kingston and Big E was a real fun and a great back and forth type of tag team match, and that was maybe one of the benefits of the actual the aspects of them having four different tag team matches was that they were kind of all different from each other. Like, you had great back and forth action with with Tyson Kidd and Cesaro and the New Day. The match with the Ascension and the New Age Outlaws was what it needed to be, basically helping put the Ascension over. But again, one of those areas where it was at least a little bit different. Like, even though the Ascension dominated the match, you still got like the quick hot tag in there and everything like that. That came off. At least decently well in that case. The Miz and Mizdow versus the Usos was again another relatively decent match to watch, and it did come off a little bit different because how the Miz and Mizdow work together, and that's basically where Miz is not really allowing him to get tagged in or do any of the work. It's almost all Miz all the time, and how they're trying to create the tension between the two of them for hopefully the apparent turn on, or one of them turning on each other here in the very near future. Again, a relatively decent match to watch, but still falls under the whole aspect of lazy booking because we have another tag team match in there. And then right after that, you had Nikki and Brie versus Paige and Natalya. Again, another tag match. And at least they did something different there. Again, where most of the times you get the heel team that they're dominating the match. They'll eventually the face team will get the hot tag and get some quick flurry of offense in, or maybe win the match or lose the match after that. No, they don't even go that route in this one. They went with the whole area that the Bellas actually dominated the match and then just win the match in the end after they get rid of everybody. So honestly, at least they made the four matches different from one another. Still doesn't make up for the fact that it was relatively lazy booking. Also, the Bellas and Paige and Natalya's storyline wasn't all that good to begin with. Yeah, the Usos and Miz and Mizdow storyline basically does revolve around the tag team titles, and also the tension building between Mizdow and Miz there as well. Obviously, you knew where the Ascension New Age Outlaws one was going because they're trying to, build the tension between the Ascension and some of the legendary tag teams, so the legendary tag teams can come in and kind of put them over in some way, shape, or form. And at least they're going to try to put them over. In this case, I had that feeling that they might have just, tried to end it as quickly as possible with them not even going over in some way, over in any way. But they decided to at least continue on with the Ascension and trying to build them and push them to wherever they're trying to get them to get. Wherever they're going to try to get them to go. So we'll see where a lot of that goes. Now, this leads into easily, and I say easily, the best match of the night. Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, John Cena, great triple threat. The way they all interacted with each other was you didn't think in some ways I thought this match would not work. but it ended up working so well. The way they portrayed Brock Lesnar, the way they portrayed Seth Rollins, the way they portrayed John Cena in here. In some way, during that match, every single one of them looked strong. They booked them strong. They booked them very well. With how Brock Lesnar just kept coming back. He was looking strong that way. Obviously, with what Seth Rollins and John Cena were doing, they were looking strong in that aspect. All the way down to the end, where the way they teased Brock Lesnar being out of the match almost made you feel like that was going to be the way they were going to go, and then they were going to put the belt on one of the other two. After Seth Rollins hit that, it's hard to say what that was. It was like a corkscrew 450 off the top rope, and then Brock Lesnar comes right in and just starts going after Seth Rollins after he had been out for what seemed to be like 5-10 minutes after that great table spot with him and Seth Rollins. The match itself just came off so well, and out of the entire night, it almost makes you wonder. It was like, okay, is this a testament to how good those three are, that they were able to pull off such a good match with the booking that was going on, because the way the rest of the show was booked, with the tag team matches and everything like that? I don't know. I honestly don't know in this case, but this triple threat match, it's up there for. It's up there for one of the better matches I've seen in quite some time. I really did enjoy this match. Now this leads into the Royal Rumble match. And I actually didn't like this year's Royal Rumble match. And it's not for the reasons that most of you would think. I felt, again, like most of the show, this match was really lazily booked. There was definitely a couple spots in there I liked. I liked the some of the stare downs you had with Bray Wyatt in there, with Bubba Ray Dudley coming back in there. You had the stare down with Eric Rowan, Luke Harper, Bray Wyatt. That came off really well. And an almost semi-comical spot, the stare down with the Boogeyman and Bray Wyatt, was actually really, really well. And they did definitely try to book Bray Wyatt as extremely strong in this match, and just having him eliminate a lot of people really quickly, and just lasting a long time inside the match. They tried to book him really, really strong, and I feel like they succeeded in that case. Where I feel like this match was just lazily booked was everything just kind of felt there. It didn't feel like there was anything really too special about it. They didn't really do outside of the normal talking vignettes that they showed before the match. You didn't really have any other backstage segments leading into the match. I mean, they could have done something with Daniel Bryan, Ryback, and Dolph Ziggler being backstage, and then maybe the Authority tries to put the screws on by picking their numbers and giving them all early numbers. But that everybody just kind of felt like they were there. And of course, I really wish they would have kept Daniel Bryan in the match until the end of the match, instead of trying to, get him out of there as quickly as possible, because you don't know where they're trying to go with him storyline-wise. Is he going to try to be going up against the Authority again? What's his role going into WrestleMania? Because obviously he's still way over, and well, you saw how the crowd reacted after he was eliminated from the match itself. I actually don't have a problem with Roman Reigns winning the match. The biggest problem I have with how they booked him to win the match. So he eliminates Big Show and Kane. Okay, he's looking strong like that. Of course, now Big Show and Kane are going to come in and attack him. They should have kept booking him strong in this case. And why I say they don't necessarily book him strong here is because in most cases, your big babyface going into WrestleMania, he's going to be the main event. He's going to be potentially one of your top guys. They would have booked him to get out of that situation without any help. And instead, and don't get me wrong, I like The Rock and everything, but this was not a good spot for him to be in. Was coming out to make the save for Roman Reigns. Just because it doesn't make Roman Reigns look strong in this case. That he needed someone else's help to get out of that situation and then win the Royal Rumble match after he eliminates Rusev. It just did not. The entire match just didn't come off all that well this year. And I am looking at it objectively. Like I said, I don't mind the fact that Roman Reigns is going to be the main event for WrestleMania. Matter of fact, if you look at it, I mean, Brock Lesnar, you have the way they booked him as this big beast, and they've kind of booked Roman Reigns the exact same way as like this beast, almost like beast-like character himself. That is an actual intriguing match to me. But I did not like the way they booked the ending of this match. And I actually don't really like the way they booked the beginning, the middle, and the end of the match as well. It just didn't come off. It felt like it was just there this year. It wasn't necessarily created to be extra special within the match. Like, they did a decent job building up the match to make it seem like it was supposed to be a special match, but then when they get to the event themselves, they didn't really finish the payoff in trying to make everything feel really special in the end. Obviously, like I said before, you heard how the crowd reacted to the match pretty much right after Daniel Bryan got eliminated from it. That's why I was thinking they should have tried to keep Daniel Bryan in that match as long as possible, because a lot of those guys who got booed really badly afterwards probably really didn't deserve what they got. And obviously, a few people got cheered right back. Most of those fans did Ryback's deal when he came out. Same with Dolph Ziggler, Dean Ambrose. But I feel like they should have tried to keep that. They should have tried to keep that elimination for later in the match. Just because, at least until everyone was out there, so you didn't kind of just get the same reaction, because obviously with Daniel Bryan being such a big fan favorite, once he gets eliminated, people are going to get extremely angry in there. And, I just feel like they messed up the booking really badly in the Royal Rumble match itself. So, overall, I mean, you had some really good action there. You had a really great triple threat match in there, in Lesnar, Cena, and Rollins. That was really good. But overall, just outside of that one match, overall, a lazily booked show. I did not like the booking in this show in any way, shape, or form, whether it be from the over generic amount of tag matches on the show to the kind of generic blah booking that they really put in for the Royal Rumble match. I mean, even Kofi's spot, it was okay. It wasn't great, though. It wasn't like many of his other spots that he had done in the past. But, I mean, it was at least well executed. And I felt like it was okay. It wasn't bad. But overall, the show just lazily booked. Not all that great, which is disappointing because it's supposed to be one of the big four, and just not necessarily the best way of starting the road to WrestleMania with their story building. And hopefully, I mean, things can get turned around going into the next pay-per-view, going into WrestleMania, anything in that. We'll see where the storylines go, and see where everybody lines up going into the WrestleMania pay-per-view. So that's my review for this year's Royal Rumble, and I thank you guys for watching.